Okay, so the topic is belief. How do you conquer this ego monster? Um, and what we're talking about is we're starting off by me taking a position that says that belief is bad for all humans. But in saying that, I misspoke and I said, I believe Jesus is real. So I then quickly changed that and I said, I know Jesus is real. And now I'm going to try and explain why I take that position. When we talk about someone like Einstein, right, who came up with E equals mc squared, we can take that formula and apply it in a modern context and prove that it actually is an accurate formula, and the result being that we can replicate an experience in modern times. And that goes with any form of uh, scientific formulas and evidence over time. We can replicate that formula in the real world, and we can prove that it is in fact a valid formula. Well, the same applies to the Jesus character, not the one that's in the Bible, because that's all magic. And anyone that, well, if we go back to the statement I made earlier, is the only way we can tell something's real is using our five senses. We can't sensorially experience humans walking on water or raising people from the dead. That's just not happened. In storybooks it may occur, but we can't replicate it, just as we could with Einstein's E equals mc squared. We can actually replicate that and experience that yes, indeed, what he's saying is in fact a reality. Welcome, Cerebus. I'm just answering Jello, if you could allow me to finish answering it. So Jello, just as Einstein has this formula, E equals mc squared, and it plays out in reality, when we look at the what's been labelled the Gospel of Thomas, I like to call it the Gospel of Jesus sayings, 114 of them, I actually broke them all down and worked out what they all meant, and they are philosophically sound. You can take the sayings, and we'll actually do one if you like. It's a weird one too. It took me a while to crack, but you can actually relate that to the way that to things that happen with humans. All right, so here it is. I'll just paste it in, and we'll just do the one so we don't labour it. There's the saying in the chat window. What it says is, Jesus said, "Lucky is the lion that the human will eat, so that the lion becomes human. And foul is the human that the lion will eat, and the lion still will become human." So we get the same, we get a human at both outcomes. What on earth does it mean? Well, if you substitute lion, think of Pride of Lions, if you like. If you substitute the word lion with the word ego, let's see what happens. Lucky is the ego that the human will consume. I'm going to use consume instead of eat. So this is a person that's basically confronted their ego, and they've consumed it. So they've taken charge of the ego, put it in its proper place. So the lion becomes, so the ego becomes human. And foul is the human that the ego will consume. So these are people in life that actually their ego just dominates their life, and they become a nightmare for themselves and others. Will eat, and the ego still will become human. So you still get, still about in the same context of a human. And I don't think there'd be too many people that would argue with the proposition that egos aren't a healthy thing. But not only humans, but they're also not a healthy thing for humanity. That's only one. Hey, what?
Are we talking about in the... Oh, I'm echoing in someone. I'm echoing through Rob.
You're echoing through who? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me mute myself.
So are we talking like Jungian, Nietzschean ego, or are we talking about like being full of yourself ego?
Okay, hold on. Sorry, that's me again. Okay. I don't go in for all the complicated side of it. You know me and the two wolf story, Cerebus. It's that simple for me. But it's as the way I understand ego is this, right? As you go through life, right, you're born perfect. As you go through, you develop certain defense mechanisms or behaviors. And there was an excellent video that we did earlier, so apologies that you missed it. It's a study from Berkeley University, and it talks about how humans will become selfish given the right set of circumstances, and they'll get notional ideas of their own abilities, the narcissist behaviors, their ego born. So that's what I think of when I think of ego. Well, probably put it simply, an ego mind, right? So it's false ideas in your head about reality, probably. Would be the
Did they
way
distinguish between selfishness and selfless selfishness?
Now, this is what the Jesus character says about it. If your leaders say to you, look, and this got better as time went on because I learned about this thing called a cult of personality. That's where, leaders created godheads. Anyway, this is what Jesus said. If your leaders say to you, look, the Father's kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you it's in the sea, then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is within you. So this is this concept of something within, and it's outside of you. So that extends to, I kind of think of that as meaning nature, the nature of things. When you know yourself, so when you become self-aware, right, then you will be known and you will understand that you are children of the living Father. That concept text is about living Father is the good wolf inside us all, the good-natured part of us, where we want to belong to a community and we want to care for other people, like you do, Cerebus. You're a good wolf. But if you do not know yourselves, then you live in poverty. So if you don't become self-aware, then you're governed by the ego mind. And you live in poverty. You stay in poverty.
I'm not really sure what that has to do with my question.
Sorry. Do it again.
Did they distinguish between selfishness or selfless selfishness?
Can I
In
have
that
that?
study from Berkeley?
Oh,
Yeah, being selfish just for yourself, or being selfish by helping others because you know that will come back to you.
Oh, okay. What they did, actually, I'll put the link there just for the benefit of anyone that's interested, because I find it to be an absolutely fascinating little study. It's called Money of the Mind. One second. Hey, well, perhaps we've got a bit of time. I wonder if it only runs. It runs 8:55, 9 minutes.
When I
Not you.
put the link in.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter either way. I would disagree with them because I think
When I,
people's selfishness has more to do with the system they're dropped into and less to do with their nature.
Sorry, say that again, mate.
I think people's selfishness has more to do with the system they're dropped into and not so much with their nature.
You're right. You are 100% right. It is the circumstances. And this study, and if you do get a chance to have a look at it, I encourage you to do it, but it showed that because they manufactured wealth in a game of Monopoly, right? And the behaviours emerged from that circumstances that they were put into. But the important thing is that the behaviours are there in the first place. It didn't matter who they put into the circumstances, they got the same results. And they do talk about altruism and how it's beneficial, but I think the context, the way they structure it, is more in line with the way the two-war story, and how I understand things to operate. Anyway, next question. Where do we get to?
Oh, I kind of skipped over, but I wanted to say, you understand that Jesus was the head of a cult of personality?
Yes, I know what you mean by that, and well, let me express what I think you mean by that, and then you can correct me. So, in 70 AD, the Romans, after the fall of Jerusalem, the first of three woes or wars, whatever you want to call them, the Romans basically took over what had been a Pharisee attempt to take over the teachings of Jesus and regather the Jewish folk that had left Judaism back into the Pharisee fold. That was Paul. That's where Paul fits in the myth. But at 70 AD, what happened was the Romans, as part of their whole propaganda deal in there, they took over Christianity. They created what's called, I think, the mythical Jesus character. They used the real Jesus, some of his sayings. In fact, 61 of the sayings in the Gospel of Thomas are in the Bible, and I've got them all matched up and looked at the whole lot of those. But what they did is all the magic appears at that particular time, around 70 AD, and there's a guy called Joe Atwill who wrote a book called Caesar's Messiah. He's extremely close to the true story. So and yes, it's a cult of personality, absolutely, 110%, in my opinion.
Like, even before propaganda or anything else, it's still a cult of personality. It's a religious teaching based around a person's personality. Jesus being the personality.
Yeah, but they made him God. They made him come out of a virgin.
Well, yeah, but even before he was God, it's still a cult of personality.
What are you saying? Are you saying at what time marker? Are you saying 51 AD?
Any time marker in any version is still a cult of personality.
It starts though. The cult of personality starts with the New Testament, the Book of Acts, and the works of Josephus.
Well, I would say the cult of personality started with Jesus, but
no, I disagree.
I guess you could say that.
No, well, you see,
without Jesus, it wouldn't be a cult of personality.
Oh, they definitely used him. Well, but they made him the human related to God. The Romans did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even without that, it's still a cult of personality. Like if I started a cult right now, it would be a cult of personality. If it was based around me.
Well,
That's
if
what
you,
makes it that.
no, but if you, no, hang on, you've got to have a god in there somewhere.
No, you don't.
Well, that's how I understand cults of personality.
No, a cult of personality is just a cult that revolves around a personality.
Well, I'm talking about the ones that use the religious context, and like the Kims in North Korea.
Yeah, that could be one. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Roman one is the same because it uses Jesus as the Godhead, and they then own the books. They write the book. That's a cult of personality. And then, they brainwash the population with propaganda. The same thing happened with a guy called Cyrus the Great. He did exactly the same with Judaism when he took that over. He did the same thing with the Babylonians.
Oh, well, we already talked about that, though, Rob. You know you have no proof for that.
Which one?
About Cyrus the Great taking over Judaism.
No, I do.
Well, don't make us go through it again, Rob.
Yes. Well, hey, scholars for 100 years have said that at least the last part of the book of Isaiah wasn't written by a guy called Isaiah. Doesn't that say that there's a problem?
Well, I mean, most of the New Testament isn't written by the names on the book.
I agree
And
100%.
we don't even know who wrote the first 4 books, so...
Oh, I do.
They say it was Noah.
No.
So... Or
Oh,
it's not Noah, it's Moses. Or which one was it? I forget.
I thought you were talking about the Gospels of Mark, Matthew, and Luke.
Well, yeah, for New Testament or Old Testament, we don't actually know for sure who wrote any of them. We take them at face value sometimes. We have our theories, but
I'm very confident that Nerva, Emperor Nerva, was the lead architect for Rome.
And you got a tablet from Nerva going, I created this or something.
No.
No. Did you got someone else saying that Nerva did it?
Hey, what I got something that I thought was interesting. Moses never existed, and that's based on archaeological evidence.
Well, I would say yes, but I think the archaeological evidence says there wasn't an exodus from Egypt. There could have still been a Moses, but...
Yes, you're right, actually. You're right. So, there's holes all the way, but with the cult of personality, I mean, that's a phenomenon that's been going on for quite a while. It's not, the religious connected version, that's been going on for quite some time. It's a common practice with these leaders of empires.
I mean, you can't really help it, right? If you're going to have an empire with an emperor, it doesn't really matter how hard you try to not have one. If you were trying to not have one, you're going to end up with one.
What, a cult of personality?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm specifically I still want to hang my hat on those cults of personality that actually use the religion story. And the reason I'm saying that is that if it's a common event, then it should follow logically that that all religions, so Islam, right? You got Muhammad is a cult of personality. They connected him up to the God by using Angel Gabriel. Now, I've got a good line of inquiry on that, on arguing against that. So if you know any religious people, I'd like to have a chat to them about, the book of Daniel. Anyway, I digress. Cerebus,
Yes.
what have you been up to?
Saving kitties from trees.
You're a good man.
I try to be. I'm actually a really terrible wolf with just a good streak.
Well, we've all got these two wolf things going on.
Well, I got that pesky third one, Rob.
No, you don't. It doesn't exist in reality. We can't sensorially validate this third wolf of yours.
Yeah, we can. It's the wolf that sits around and shakes his head at the other two.
Yes, but if we observe your behaviours over time, we'll see selfish, we'll see unselfish. What other behaviour? What's this wolf that's shaking its head? What behaviours do we look for?
Mostly annoyance.
Now, what's that? That's it. I know that one. I saw Patrick. I was going to say I saw Patrick. Do you know Patrick at all?
Yeah.
Patrick gets extremely frustrated with people with silly beliefs and that. So that's the thing you're speaking about. Just this. Oh, what the. But
See, I tried to fix Patrick once, and I failed. I couldn't do it.
what, the drinking?
Oh no! Just fix his over. I don't really know what word would be correct.
Yeah, I know. I know what
He's
you mean.
overly sensitive to things.
Yes. Gotcha. Yeah, and to his own detriment. Poor fella. He's a lovely fella, but he got bloody trolled by these. Have you come across Vladimir at all?
Oh yeah, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, that's him. He's orders us pizzas here at home. He's a real pest. When you don't want them, they rock up to your door and you've got to send the poor folks home. Yeah, so Vladimir, in one of his little games, mimicked Patrick. And Patrick was trying to get together, organise a little science community, people with like interests together.
Yeah, I know the story.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Bloody shockers they are.
Yeah, Patrick overreacted, and then everyone was pretending to be Patrick.
Yeah, that's right. Oh dear.
We had the whole Patrick family. We had him being Patrick, and then we had, Mama Patrick and Papa Patrick, and they would come into the room with Patrick and argue back and forth and tell him to eat his vegetables. And
dear, you're shocking people. I've had my fair share of being trolled and that, and I'm actually getting better at watching and learning all the signs. But hang on a minute, now you're a good bloke, yet you allow yourself. Now you know that Patrick would be upset because you know how he reacts, right? You know he'd be upset. Now you're a good bloke. How does a good bloke do that sort of stuff?
well, you could do it for his own good.
I understand that because my big thing, right? This is my big thing. The reason I'm here on the bloody internet and Google Plus is I want to see, or I want to try and see if it's possible to burst people's belief bubbles. And that probably takes us back a couple of steps, but
Well, I think you can, but I don't think you're going to be able to do it with people on the internet. But people on the internet come to the internet to talk about this stuff because they're really sure about it already. You're not going to find someone that's like, you're not going to point anything out to anyone on the internet.
if I could get a person, a religious, a Christian in a room long enough and get them to commit to not leave, I think I can show them a very strong argument that demonstrates that Angel Gabriel is a myth. So I'd like to have a chance at that. But the problems I usually run into is that they get, cognitive dissonance, right? They get to that phase and then it's out the door. But anyway, we got off track there a little. So your point was that you saw an opportunity to help Patrick.
Well, it was like trying to immunize. I'm messing up all my words. To create an immunity to being trolled, but he wouldn't have any of it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I see your, your good wolf at work. So, and that's my problem, right? That's the problem I run into. I can see. I look at it this way, right? A false thing, something, an idea that has no, that's doing a person harm. It's illogically founded. That idea in head, and I'm on the other side, and I can see the error and the problem, and you can't get. Thank you. You can't get them to see the problem. And it's just really difficult. It's a really challenging. Now the theory, and I've got a few ideas in my head, but is that there's this thing about know thyself. So you want to get the true story in the frame. That's probably part of it. Then you get the cognitive dissonance behaviours. That's part of it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just still playing with bloody ideas, but I think it's a really important thing. And Patrick is a good example, right? So Patrick would be improved, right? And you know it. And I've seen him. I know that if he could take charge of the situation. Actually, I think I had that discussion with him. I said, Patrick, it's not a problem. You can manage it. But I think, oh yeah, that's what it was. I was actually managing them on his behalf, and he said, "Thank you for doing all that. I wish I could do that." And Cerebus, when you hear that sort of comment, you say, "Yeah, but you bloody well can." But he wouldn't have a bar. He wouldn't listen to me. So it's the similar experience. But you see, yeah, if you could actually find some magic bullet for these situations, what a powerful thing it would be. What a powerful thing it would be.
I don't think it's I think you could. I think I could still do it, but the level and the effort I would have to put into it for Patrick, I don't think Patrick would talk to me anymore.
Home truth sort of stuff, you mean?
Yeah, this just. I think he would eventually get it, but I think by the time he got it, it'd be too late for for me and him to be friends.
I'm not so sure. I'm not afraid of that particular issue. I'll take him to the, I'll take him to the brick if I have to. If if people will sit with me long enough, I'll take them all the way. I just can't seem to pin them down long enough. And because see, I hold the view that the good wolf, right, will actually thank you. If you can get the good wolf out of these people, they'll actually thank you. Jello, got any questions?
Oh no, we bored Jello.
What'd you say, Service?
I said, oh no, we bored Jello.
No. I turned up the volume and I went into the kitchen to make a snack. I'm listening.
I'm having a snack too, mate. Well, it's actually my evening meal. So if you can hear me chewing away, forgive me.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have the same problem in about 5 minutes, so I'll forgive you if you forgive me. But yeah, it's 1:40 a.m. here, so I'm having like a late night snack or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I think you guys are lying to me. You're all part of the conspiracy.
Oh, what's that about?
Oh, there's only one time zone, and it's Central Time.
Dear. You got to do something about those beliefs of yours, Cerebus.
Like, I got evidence. My clock says it's 3:41.
Well, mine says 6:41 p.m. So at least we
If
can
I
agree on the one.
See, your clock's lying, or you're part of the conspiracy, because if I brought my clock to where you are, it would still say 3:41.
See, I've had this argument with him before, Rob, and the fact is that my clock only makes it farther away from time for him to go home, so he'll never hear it. Like, his bias is way too strong.
Yeah. And see, we're talking about the same thing. Belief. How do you conquer this ego monster? So the problem is not reality at all. All it is Cerebus is wrong thinking. It's got a belief that doesn't match reality. So we should all rally around.
Are you telling me right now it's not 3:42 where I am?
Yeah, but it's 6:42 p.m. over here.
No, it's not. My clock will disprove that.
Let's think about that for a minute. But that's what you see, Cerebus. This is where we get into these stupid fucking mind games. I'm trying to find a way to avoid the mind games. So my latest thing is how do we judge reality? It's based on our senses, right? So the doorbell just went. We're probably getting another bloody pizza. So let's see if that rule can solve this problem that you've got. So you're saying you visually look at your clock and it accurately reports 6:43 p.m. Is that right?
Only right now I'm getting 3:43, but yeah.
That was just me being a smartass. So that's you. Now me, right, using my 5 senses, I look at my screen and it says 6:43 p.m. Now you came up with some conspiracy theory when you heard that my time was different to yours.
Well, no, it's not that your time's different. It's not different.
Uh-huh. This is interesting because it's
His claim is that you have the same time that he does, but you're basically, repressing the truth in your own righteousness.
Now we know that the technical explanation will be that it's time zones that are at work here, and the way that the sun moves across the Earth. So here we go, because we're going to try and keep this.
He's a presuppositional time zonist.
I hate that word. I'll tell you another one I hate, fallacy. I've grown to hate that.
Hey, Rob, what did Sandra make?
Oh, chicken. Excuse me, chicken and veggies.
That sounds good.
Sorry, my apologies. Anyway, so right, do you accept, Cerebus, that the sun travels around the Earth?
No.
Okay, what's your problem with that?
The Earth travels around the sun.
Okie dokie. So the Earth travels around the sun. Do you think, and probably scientists will back me up on this one, wouldn't it be a longer journey or a longer experience of daylight if what you're saying is true? You know, because it's such a long journey around the sun. The sun's pretty big.
Are you a geocentrist, Rob?
Does that mean that, like, I'm the person that knows that the Earth travels around the sun and the moon travels around the Earth?
Well, yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah, but you said the sun travels around the Earth the first time. That's why I disagreed with you.
Oh, okay, did I? My mistake. Sun travels around here. Oh, pardon me. Sun travels around the... Yeah, okay, my apologies. So, do you agree that the Earth travels around the sun?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, what effect does that have on your daylight hours?
Well, not really much.
Well, you know, there's a dawn, there's a period marked as dawn, and that's possibly 6 o'clock or something like that. And then there's an evening time of about 6 p.m. Would you agree? Something is wrong. Yeah?
Yeah, but you get day and night from the Earth rotating, not because the Earth is going around the sun.
Yeah. Now, now, do you think it's the same for people that live on the other side of the Earth?
Well, it's not my fault that they have daytime in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but it's different, isn't it, to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, their 3:48 a.m. is daytime. They're weird.
But don't you think it's possible that when they set up clocks, that, you know, the early or the daylight hour is set at 6 p.m. regardless, 6 a.m. Pardon me. Got to watch you. You'll pick me up on every mistake. So the daylight hour of 6 a.m. will be daylight hour of 6 a.m. will be different depending on where you're positioned around the Earth. Yes?
No, they're just suppressing the true time for their convenience.
Now, right, let's stop there for a minute because this is good. What we've got you, so we've got you in a holding pattern now. We're right on the cusp of this issue where you're wrong thinking. What you're saying is that there's a conspiracy afoot, and that's what's causing the different times. And what I'm saying to you, which is accurate, is that no, the times are reflecting the position of that particular location in relationship to the rotation of the Earth around the sun.
Well, yeah, but they're changing from the one true time, which is the time I live in, for their own convenience.
No,
That's
it's
selfish, Rob. That's selfish.
no, actually, it's because that works best to match with the the daylight hours. So if we got you, so you see, you're being difficult. You're a right bloody Muslim. If we got you, to get you straight thinking, we'd have to get you in a plane and bring you over here and show you. Would that work?
I mean, if I bring my clock along, it would prove you wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm defeated.
Look. Okay, I'll admit you might not be part of the conspiracy, but you're definitely like reaping the benefits of it in your unrighteousness.
Yeah. Well, I disagree with you, and so here we come to this point where, see, this is the thing. Your position is and of course we're playing games and that here, but your position is such, or you're role-playing a believer, your position is such that you just won't shift ground, and that's the common thing here, and this is the very problem in a nutshell, and it's not any more complicated than this. It just isn't. It's exactly the same thing. So the question, the more interesting question is, how do you fix that problem? This disconnect between, where a notional idea is held in the head, it is wrong. How do you get how do you get that person across the line into being a realist?
That you can't.
Well, I got
aside from kidnapping them and throwing them in a dark room and yelling at them for a few days, you're not going to get them to do anything.
Actually, I tried that and it doesn't work either.
Hey, Wolf.
Okay, we can switch to a real conspiracy. The barbecue chicken conspiracy.
What's that?
It's that you can't ever get barbecue chicken breasts because they only barbecue the pieces they can't sell very well.
No, hang on, before we go there, I just wanted to say, because it's no more complicated, right? You're saying it's impossible to break beliefs. That's your position. And I would have to say that given all the current information, I have to agree with you. And every effort that I make, I'm not able to bridge that gap. But I just want to throw it out there as a challenge, because it'd make life a lot simpler, I tell you. The challenge is there a way, without having to lock them into a room, is there a way to break beliefs? Anyway, that was it.
I'm telling you, the locking them in a room thing doesn't work. I've tried it.
I agree with you. I don't think it's appropriate. It takes too long. I want a quick fix.
I don't think you can intentionally, of your own volition.
Well, see, the people that you could talk out of their beliefs tend not to hold the beliefs you have to talk them out of. They tend to already be self-critical.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's no reason for someone that isn't self-critical to believe you over themselves.
Well, I'm a stubborn little fellow. I'm going to continue trying to work this one out, but I haven't yet.
The best you can do is just give them the information and just let them do with it whatever they're going to do with it.
No, not happy with that one. But what might happen though, because I'm sure that I'm not the first one to look at these problems and try and deal with them. It's been going on for years and years and years and years and years. I may have to ultimately face failure and just give up. There's a reason I do it. I'm concerned about Islam and its efforts to grow its size and spread its tentacles. So rather than just sit down and do nothing, I want to try and do something about it. But, you know, not go killing people or anything like that. Just try and work out how to crack heads.
I think Patrick's refusing to come in here.
Is he?
I told him to get in here. I asked him if he was in the chat, and he is. And
yeah, well, tell him to come in.
I did, and he said, yeah, for what? And I replied with, we love you, question mark, question mark, question mark. Like,
It's hard to control that little ego monster. Just tell him Rob wanted to have a chat to him. Maybe he doesn't remember, he was pretty drunk. But he's very grateful for me, you know, helping him out. He might come in. But you see, the other thing is too, you know, unless it's got something to do with that interests him, he's not really that bothered. Wolf, woof, woof.
I forgot. Is this is he a good wolf or a bad wolf? Who's he been feeding? Oh, pardon me. I apologize for that.
Well, Wolfie, I don't remember, but I guarantee it within say 2 or 3 minutes of talking with him, I'll quickly recall.
I'm pretty sure Wolf King feeds the annoyed wolf, the third wolf.
Is he religious? No.
Unless super cool is a religion. I think it's more of an art form, so I think he's more artistic than religious.
Yeah. Oh.
Hello.
Hey, Wolfie.
Oh, Wolf.
Man, a few words. Are you at work service or home?
Yeah. It's all quiet right now.
That's a bonus. And how are things on the patrol? Are they people getting crazier or?
I mean, not really. Well, I mean, not any more crazy than they normally are.
Mm-hmm. Things are in a holding pattern.
Every once in a while, though, something really crazy happens. I look outside and it is a full moon.
Ah, is that true?
Yes, but I don't actually think the full moon causes it.
I don't know. Might do.
See,
Sorry,
Patrick is overreacting right now. He thinks you called him a drunk last night when all you said was he was drunk last night. Which means he's listening to this. Just get in here, Patrick.
Come on in, Patrick.
Hey, Rob. If he was only mad because he thinks you called him a drunk, you could always say, that's not what I said. Because I don't think that's what I heard.
Yeah, I heard that he was drunk, not that he was a drunk.
So we've got this belief problem again, haven't we?
Although I will say right here, because I know he's listening, I do think just a little bit.
I don't think Beasley could possibly know Patrick long enough to say whether or not he thinks he's a drunk, which is why I tend to believe Beasley when he says that he didn't actually say that he was a drunk. However, I think he's a drunk. I've known him for quite some time. Not really a drunk. I guess I would say a wino. But you know what they say: winos never get worried about nothing but running out of wine.
And let's be fair to him. It's because he's Italian.
So yeah, he's not really a drunk or a wino. He's an Italian.
No,
that
those
got
are fighting
racist
words.
really quick.
Come on, Patrick, come in.
He says he doesn't want to hang around with assholes. You know me, Severus. No one here is an asshole. Everyone here is a dick. We went over this before, Patrick. You got, pussies, assholes, and dicks. You need dicks.
So this is the thing too, on these topics, I always reduce them down to the simplest factors, and because I think they are pretty simple at the end of the day. And the conversation peters out.
I'm not wino, fuck you, Joe.
Wolf?
Not you, Wolf. I was talking
about external.
Oh, no,
I'm
he's
just
bringing
saying,
Patrick an external.
Yeah. Then got.
Go, Wolf.
No, I'm just saying, getting heated up out there.
Patrick, you get in here or I'm making another meme. Don't make me do it. I'll do it.
What's a meme?
It's a meme is something that you pass around that people like and they continue to pass it around and it becomes a thing. But really, it's really what I'm thinking, what you're probably thinking of and what I do is like a picture with a phrase at the bottom.
Yeah, got it. I know what that is.
Okay. Patrick wants you to apologize for the thing you didn't say and then he'll come in.
Sorry.
There you go, Patrick. Now you gotta come in. Otherwise, you'd be a liar. And he'll get that message like 3 minutes from now.
Yeah, so I noticed that you did deploy on his ego. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, hang on a minute. Is that Patrick, the real Patrick?
I think it's the real Patrick.
I'll tell you something that I noticed, right?
Whatever you do, be sure to ask Patrick that very question. He loves that question. That's one of his favorite questions in the world. Are you the real Patrick?
Yeah, it's not Patrick, and I'll tell you why I know. When you actually have a look at the text in the Hangout window that Patrick's it's in capitals. Oh, sorry, bold, and that's what Vladimir does. That's the way he bolds everything that he chats. So that's not the real Patrick.
Oh, I'm not seeing any bolds.
I am.
Other than, like, capitals at the beginning of his sentences.
Bold. Bold. The whole text is bolded. It's just a pattern I picked up with this guy. That's the way he does it.
Don't give that kind of warning.
So he says, "Yes, I'm the real Patrick. Thank you for recognising that, Jello." That just doesn't sound like something the way Patrick would talk.
Yeah, Patrick's not grateful for anything I do. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's right. See, this. I'll take you back to a little bit of the earlier discussion. Jesus said, "Know what about the, my way of proving the guy existed." Jesus said, "Know what is in front of your face, and what is hidden from you will be disclosed to you, for there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed." Cerebus, you're a switched-on dude. You are probably able to read people quite well.
I like to think I can.
Yeah, I know that you can. So that's what he's banging on about there, Know what is in front of your face. Well, what's in front of our face? It's the other humans. It's not ourselves. And I don't know how flush they were with mirrors in those days, but the saying's accurate. When you sort of, I don't know, call it the enlightenment walk, when you've done that sort of walk, you understand these two wolvies at work, and you're able to read people a little bit better, and you read them quite well, don't you, Cerebus? By their behaviour. By their behaviours. You don't listen to their words. What you look at is you look at their behaviours. Yeah, so the behaviours that are coming out of that chat stream suggest to me that that's not Patrick. That's just Vladimir Putin. Idiot. He won't like me making that analysis, because these classic narcissists, they don't like being shown up. They like being, they like to think that they're the master manipulators of the world.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Patrick had some videos in his channel, and this one doesn't have any videos.
What's that? What are you looking at now?
I'm just looking at this Patrick's videos.
Got it. Gotcha. Yeah, so even more evidence, mate, that we're dealing with a troll. With the trolled Patrick.
It's a shame. I kind of wanted to talk to Patrick.
Yeah, likewise. Would have been good. See, so main focus, right? Trying to work out how to break down beliefs. So just like you, right? You tried to help Patrick, with a bit of subtleness, using your nous, etc. That's exactly the same thing I'm doing. Exactly, without any doubt. I take the same moral view that you do. I hold the view that that it's in the person's best interest to get rid of the wrong thinking, and that's why I'm here. So, these little occasions with people that are cranky and upset and playing their stupid little troll games, etc., are all opportunities to explore that. The world's full of it. That'll probably deplete the number of chats I'll get involved in. What time how much longer you got in the shift, Cerebus?
A little over 2 hours.
Very good. And how much of your shift Oh, yeah, probably. No. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, now I'm kind of curious what you were going to ask.
I was going to ask how much of your shift, I'll ask now, how much of your shift is, sitting down?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be sitting down, but third shift is kind of quiet. We get one or two calls, from like 8 o'clock to 11, and then from then on out throughout the night, we might get one.
Wow, that's not much at all.
Yeah, like if I worked first shift, we'd get like 10.
So, without saying where you live and all the rest of it, because we're broadcasting live, what's the major city or rural or?
Well, mostly rural. I work for a fire district, so it's not just one fire department. It's we have 4 fire departments underneath one chief that we basically all work together.
Yeah.
But we got 5 small towns and then a bunch of rural area that we cover.
Nice.
And an industrial district, which is where we get all of our tax money to fund the departments.
So you live in a smaller type country town?
Well, I live out in the middle of nowhere.
On a farm?
Yeah, I own a farm.
Nice. How do you like that? How do you like that?
I like it. It's really nice. See, most of my food comes from my farm, or me trading what I do with my neighbors to get food.
Wow.
So I know where most of my food comes from. And I know how my food's treated.
Very nice.
And I like that. And it's cheaper that way.
Well, here's Bulldog. You know Bulldog?
I do not.
You do not? Seriously?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you do. Just not by that name.
Oh, okay.
John May.
Oh, it's John May. Okay. What? You make an account after a dog and you pick probably one of the worst dogs ever.
You should put a Chihuahua up there, I reckon. Yeah, John May's been trolling me. Now, he might not last long in the room if he misbehaves too much. I actually caught him. I jumped into a room. I caught him, and he had a bloody photo of my missus when she was in New York from our trip. I don't know how the hell he got it. That's the thing about trolls; they don't speak truth. So the things people do.
I already know that about John May.
Hey?
I already know that about John May. John May's a fibber.
Now, I see them two wolves, right? The fibber is on the evil side of the ego. Oh, look, we've got two of them. Oh, how he got it. Yeah, but the liar, the fibber, sits with the ego and what else? Greed.
Pride.
No, pride is not listed. But I agree with you.
Pride's not listed.
No, it ain't.
So we just pride go to the third wolf then?
I still want to know from you, right? You didn't answer this. I want to know from you, what are the behaviours of the third wolf?
Annoyance.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You did say shaking the head. annoyance, frustration.
Mainly at the first two wolves.
And I can, oh, that's right. I remember we did discuss this. I can understand that because that is part of a behaviour that people experience. But I'm not. I still know that there's no three wolves.
He just sits back there and goes, "Come on, guys, can we just stop it?"
Well, hey, well, there's the bloody answer. There's the bloody answer. What we've got to do is learn how to talk to this third wolf.
But he's a compromising wolf. He's a communist, a socialist. He takes all the food and divvies it up so no one starves.
Right. Actually, I want to think about that for a minute. Wonder if someone's calling me. Hang on, I'll have to buzz them off. No, it's just stupid. Stupid Vladimir, the guy that spoofs Patrick.
Yeah.
So the third. I've lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
The third wolf, how he divvies up the food so no one starves.
Yeah, I don't buy that. But it has got me thinking. I wonder if there is another element in the mix. I wonder if that's possible. So here's what I think those two wolves are. Here's what I think. I'm going to have to clean this guy up a bit. It's got me thinking. I wonder if there's another element in the mix.
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell you, Rob.
Oh, but I haven't got any evidence yet. I'm still sort of trying to, because everything for me, mate, has got to be evidence. Otherwise, it's not real. There we go.
Poor Johnny May.
Yeah. Oh, it's just that he put 3 accounts up, so these guys seem to know more. They know more than me, but they seem to know of ways of using Google Hangouts, and so I figured that maybe I should have left him in because it could have been interesting. Maybe another day.
I mean, I can do it too if you think it'd be interesting.
What's that?
I can do it too if you think it'd be interesting.
Oh, what, the behaviours?
Oh, no, getting multiple accounts in here.
Getting Bulldog back in?
No, I can bring multiple copies of my account into one room.
Oh, okay. But all I'd have to do with you is ask you what you were doing. You'd tell me, and if you were playing games, then some behaviour would happen at some point down the track, and then I'd kick you out. So people are straight, See, this is this lie thing. Now, Bulldog's behaviour is all about lies and deception.
Well, I think deep down inside he wants to be good, though.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think there's a gooey, chewy core to the center of Johnny May.
I saw him with a guy called Tom. Now, this guy, Tom, I don't know whether he's from England. Have you ever come across him at all?
Tom from England? I don't think so.
All right, he's a guy that's been on drugs. So he's got an addiction issue. He's a convict or criminal. He's been, so he's got a criminal background. But he's a nice enough bloke, He's a straight talker, and run across him. And then John May gets in the room with him, and he just attacks him. It was appalling. And the things so this guy's got a young daughter, and he's this guy's got a young daughter. I think she's 8 or 9 or something like that. And of course, you can see he loves his daughter. And John May gets in there and he's calling him a criminal and just really going at him hard. But the worst thing for me, the thing that I felt most uncomfortable about is that he started, saying that you're itching to get the Knicks fixed. And, you could see this guy, it was an issue for him in his life. So that's the John May that I saw. And it was bloody appalling.
Well, see, I mean, I could be wrong, but I completely blame Down Corner. And I am partially saying that because I'm pretty sure he's watching. But Down Corner is the dark side, and he corrupted Johnny May with the dark side.
Yeah, I hear that story. Yeah, well, like I say, mate, all I'll say is I think I'm a good judge of character. Given enough time, I'll work you out. Or I'll just sidestep you. I won't bother with you. So these viewers that we've got are probably the troll patrol. Yeah,
Well, I don't think we're that interesting. So either they're trolls or they don't like themselves very much.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Actually, I tend to agree. Yeah, my read on John May is different to yours, let's say. Oh, sorry. No, you did say that Down was involved in his conversion. Well, if that's okay, I need to talk to Down then, don't I?
Yeah, tell Down to give me back my Johnny May. I miss my Johnny May.
Well, no, I need to speak to Down to see what his techniques are.
Well, he didn't really change beliefs. He just kind of changed behaviors.
Now, well, so going back to Tom's situation, Johnny May was behaving, so that's a behaviour result there. Which is ego, which is no. I think you're wrong actually. He's got to have changed. Hang on, no, this is probably worth thinking through. What you're saying, Cerebus, is that the guy only changed behaviours, right?
Yeah.
Right. Definitely the behaviours were evident. They were behaviours based on, you call them narcissists, right? Bullying, that type of end result. Now, to me, that's a raise in the ego area, or the evil wolves being, if we look at those two wolves, right, it's about choices between one and the other. That's the way I see it. A simple choice, given two options presented, and he's chosen to feed the bad wolf. And then that choice creates the behaviours. That's the way I see it functioning. So what we have is a change in choices, which will have to be, and that's where you're suggesting that Down is responsible for that change in choice, right?
Yeah, he showed him the dark side.
The evil wolf. Feed him up.
And the Force lightning.
Well, when I catch up with Dan, I'm going to have a chat to him about it. I'm going to use you as my source, if that's, or do you have a problem? Well, they're listening probably now.
Oh yeah, I don't mind if you use it as a source.
Yeah. I'll just ask the question. And just see what Dan has to say. But again, you see, that's where these guys, in their head, right, they think I'm like the opposition, the enemy. But I don't hate them, or none of that's in me. I get frustrated by them, make no bones about that. But, or less so now, but I'm interested in the mechanics, how things function, how they work. So in that discussion, what we had is the interference by Down changed the thinking. Or no, let's keep it simple. Down caused the wrong wolf to be fed.
Yes.
Let's keep it just that simple. Because if we can find out if that were the case, then I can then ask Down, how'd you do it? And can you reverse it?
I don't know.
We've got the problem solved, eh?
It might be a little like letting the genie out of the bottle. You might not be able to put it back in.
More information? Oh, you mean if I had that power, it might be trouble, big trouble.
I don't know. I mean, once you show people the dark side, you might not be able to get them to come back.
Oh, no, I would never do that. That's not me. No, what I'm looking for. Well, see, let's take it back up the tree, right? Got a choice in two. Here we go, Down's here. We can ask him.
There you go. I thought that happened.
Hang on. Let me just play with ideas. Let's not be inhibitive. What I'm saying is, if you can force a change and feed the bad wolf, what's stopping you doing the same and to feed the good wolf? Isn't it the same thing?
Well, kinda. I'm pretty sure they have different methods.
Well, let's explore, right? Down. An accusation has been made.
Yeah, what's the accusation?
The accusation is that you're responsible for changing Bulldog into the monster that he's become.
Well, there might be some truth to that. I didn't give him the amount of attention that he craved.
No, I think it's more along the lines that you've made him into a troll.
I think he was a troll long before he ever encountered me. The methods that he uses, Rob, which you've seen, obviously were not developed from his experiences on Google. Obviously, he had some precognitive processes that took place prior to this site.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was kind of hoping you'd say yes, you did, because if you did, then it gives me something to explore. And the theory goes like this. The theory goes, if someone's able to influence someone into bad behavior, and in my simple terms, feed the bad wolf, then I'm interested in exploring whether it's possible to have the same effect by getting them to feed the good wolf.
You can definitely do things to influence it, but it has to be there to begin with, though. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the wolves are there. They're always there. That's the way we're made. Made by God. Hey, Cerebus, I didn't explain what or maybe I have. I'll just try and do it quickly. I found what I believe the wolves to be.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So one wolf is the primal instinct to primitive instinct to of self-survival, right? So it's all about the individual, just basically speaking. The other wolf is about the herd instinct. And this is where we get this concept of love thy neighbour. You know, the herds stay together by basically keeping a very close eye on their neighbour. So that's what I think. I think it's there's these primitive instincts inside all humans, and they're basically what these wolves are.
So then what's an angry mob?
What's that, sorry?
So then what's an angry mob?
An angry mob. A bunch of people feeding the wrong wolf.
But they're in a herd.
Oh, okay, I get your point. Very good. Oh, no, I don't think. I don't think the two relate. I think you're not comparing apples with apples. So these two wolves, right, are inside us all. So I'm just trying to think of the trigger for an angry mob. So because I know. So you get a bunch of protesters, right, waltzing down the street. Their intent in doing that is to just protest, and they'll go out initially to do it peacefully. So we may have a human herd of good-natured souls, but what happens is that some ne'er-do-wells with ulterior motives, and they'll be selfish. They'll actually start a flash event which will then turn the mob situation into an angry mob, perhaps. Yeah.
But then you'll have a bad wolf exhibiting herd characteristics.
Nah, I disagree. No, the two wolves only live inside people. A person. And people...
Well, how can a person herd by themselves? How does a person herd by themselves?
Well, what they do is they care and, you know, they long to their... I think the key word is authentically selfless. They're authentically selfless. Pardon me. Oh dear. Sorry.
Well, right now I think the bad wolf's inhabiting my bladder because it's telling me I have to go pee, but I don't want to leave yet.
Sorry about that. Oh dear. So, down, why would Cerberus say that?
Because he's a troll.
No, not at all. I know he plays the game a little, but I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. Oh dear. So I say definitely no to that. Oh, pardon me.
He's tried trolling me in the past, which is why which is why I distance myself from his group. He's a perpetual troll, and he tries to appear on the surface as being valid, and behind the scenes he's slowly trolling without you even knowing it.
Oh, well, I look forward to the result, but I feel quite comfortable. So, oh dear. Jello, Jello. Oh, yeah, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Rob, Cerberus has already made arguments with me that HIV does not cause AIDS. Okay, he makes these really trollish arguments to piss people off.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying there, but I disagree again because I know when he takes a position and that he's just playing the game, and he knows I know. So no drama there.
Yeah, you can't poison Rob against me. Me and Rob are buddies.
Well, that comment worries me. Hey, Jello, are you okay?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. I thought we need to call 000. 911, is it? Yeah, 911 over in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, no, everything's fine.
He's just beating his child with a tuba.
He's being his what?
Get to urinate.
His children with a tuba.
Get to urinate.
Well,
Don't
hey,
believe a word of it. I don't even own a child. I mean, a tuba.
well, anyway, it's been lovely as usual. Good to catch up with you guys. I might call it quit.
Rob, you can't quit right now. You still got a full audience.
We've sort of talked ourselves out, I think. You know, and I learned a bit, and it was good. And now, Cerebus, your mission. Cerebus, your mission is you've got to work out. We'll use this analogy, right? Imagine a bubble or a balloon inside someone's head. We need to work out how to prick that bubble.
And so you want me to discover the magic bullet?
I do, mate. Yes, please. I'll be busy trying myself, but if you could help out, it'd be much appreciated.
I'll promise to try.
All right. Other than that, just get ready to wear what are Muslim men? Those funny little skull caps. Just dust that off and get that out and get it ready. All right. Happy days.
Bye, Rob.